Hello everybody, welcome back to Eaudetreasure. I'm Steven. In this video I'm going to do somewhat of a clone wars. Neeb on the Aromatics channel does some great videos where he compares a lot of different clones that are cloning the same thing, and he gives his impression and tells you what he thinks the best one is. I'm doing something like that in this video. I'm going to test out Afnan's 9 p.m., going to test out Ramz Silver from Lattafa, and I'm going to see which one is the best one in my opinion. Now, I don't have a bottle of Jean Paul Gaultier Ultramale, which these are both very similar to. I was just going to make this video and tell you how I like the scent, but I actually do have this. I forgot that I have this. I have a decant of this thing sitting in my collection, and I have it here. I was wondering what's inside it, and check it out, guys. There's a little bit left in here, thank God, so I can make this video and compare. The concept is simple. I'm not going to spray them on my skin. I'm just going to spray them on a paper tester strip and just compare all of them and tell you what I think. Also, there's one more dark horse contestant in this contest, if you will. It's Zara's Gourmand leather. Have you guys ever heard of this one? This one is another smell-alike for Jean Paul Gaultier Ultramale. Here they are. I'm going to use these 4 tester strips right here. That's the concept of this video. Going to compare these smell-alikes to Jean Paul Gaultier Ultramale and tell you what I think. I challenge all you YouTubers out there to get the cheesiest scissors possible in your videos to open up your fragrances. I think it'll be hilarious. Here's the bottle. This is actually a pretty cool bottle. It's a hefty bottle. It's not really a sticker. It's printed on pretty good, but it's just a cool looking bottle. Cap, pretty heavy metal cap. All around pretty decent presentation. These go for about $35 or $40, but they used to be more. I think these used to be like 60 bucks, and thankfully the price has come down on them. Now for the Lattafa Ramz. Here's the bottle of the Lattafa Ramz Silver. People say it's cheesy. It's got these words on it. And the color, it's not quite black. It's kind of like this really dark greenish color. Like the kind of green that you would see on a beetle. Like that shiny kind of green thing going on. It's got the English Ramz Lattafa. It's got some, I guess it's Arabic. I think this bottle is kind of cool. And the cap kind of squeezes on, snug. You can hold it by the cap. Yeah, I don't think the presentation is that bad. These are both eau de parfum concentrations. And we have Zara Gourmand leather. This is a 100 ml bottle, eau de parfum concentration. All 3 of these are eau de parfum concentrations. I think this has been reformulated at least once. The bottle has changed like 4 different times. But this is one of the first bottles. I think this came out in 2019. I got this one used, but it's nearly full. This I got for like 15 bucks or 18 bucks. They don't have it anymore at the stores. It's hard to get, so I jumped on it. Forgot to mention, for anybody who cares about the batch code, the Ramz Silver is M082306011713, and the production date, you can't see it, the production date is July 2023 on this one. And for the production info on the 9 p.m., the batch code is 9603-605, and the production date is July 2022. In case any of you are wondering about reformulations or batches, I heard a lot of talk about how some of the batches suck for the 9 p.m., and some of them are fantastic. Let's start off with a spray of Ultramale on the paper strip. There we go. Maybe a second blast for good measure. Oh, that smells nice. I haven't smelled this in years, actually. I got this decant like 3 years ago. My buddy made this for me. Thank God there's something left in there. All right, let's do the honors with 9 p.m. All right. Sprayer's pretty nice. Time for the Ramz Silver. Let's give it a couple blasts. Sprayer's just okay on this one. But this is a great cheapie. This you can get for even under 20 bucks. If you're lucky, you can find this for like 16 or 18 bucks. I wouldn't pay any more than 25 bucks for it, just because you can find it everywhere for like 20. Finally, a couple blasts of the Zara Gourmand leather. There we go. as I get fragrance oil residue all over my kitchen table. Not such a bad thing. All right, I'll let these strips dry down for a couple minutes. I'll come back to the video, I'll smell them, and I'll tell you what I think about them. I'll compare them to each other. All right, guys, I'm back for this smell test here. I'm going to start off with Ultramale and just tell you what I think about that initial impression. Just rediscovering this one. Now, I had a bottle of this. I had a 40 ml bottle. I enjoyed it for a couple weeks, and then I kind of packed it away. I didn't want to sell it. I wanted to keep at least one bottle of it. And then I went ahead and bought a 125 ml bottle in the can. It's not here, it's in USA, because I thought they were discontinuing it, but I guess they didn't. They still produce it. So I don't think this one is really similar to the original Ultramale, and you guys know how much I love Ultramale. It's like probably my favorite fragrance of all time, at least top 2, top 3 best fragrances ever. This is a little bit, only slightly similar to it. It's much sweeter, and it has the sweetness of a pear note in it. I'm not a huge fan of this fragrance in general. I didn't think the performance was really that great, first of all. Now, I'm in my mid-40s, so I don't really want to run around smelling like candy. But that's what this is. You smell like candy when you wear this. This is a nice fragrance. I think this is Francis Kirkjohn made this one too. And it's really unique. It is a trendsetter. It's a great fragrance. It's just not really my style, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about experimenting with these different fragrances. Now, I'm smelling the 9 p.m. And just going off of these paper strips, and granted these bottles aren't really matured or macerated if they need that sort of thing to develop, but this one is not as sweet as the Ultramale. This one is just like, it smells a tiny bit like Ultramale off the paper, but it's not really, really close. So initially off the paper, Ultramale smells nicer. It's a little bit louder and stronger. This one, it does smell a tiny bit like Ultramale, but it's very light off the paper strip. Maybe I should put the 9 p.m. on top of the 9 p.m. There we go. Smelling the Ramz Silver now. The Ramz Silver so far is the sweetest one. And this one smells at least a little bit closer to the Ultramale than the 9 p.m. And off the bat, if I just have to choose which one smells the best off the paper, it's the original Ultramale. That one smells the best. No surprise, right? So Ramz is just okay. It just smells and performs a little bit better than 9 p.m. It's a little bit closer to Ultramale, but so far Ultramale smells the best. And finally, the Zara Gourmand Leather. Let's give this one a try. This one is very interesting. This one actually smells the strongest compared to all of these. I mean, this one is the closest to Ultramale as far as just standing out and the scent. I actually like the Gourmand Leather the best definitely out of 9 p.m., out of Ramz Silver. Now I'm just going to smell these both, Ultramale and Gourmand Leather, and just tell you what I think. These two are just going to face off against each other, and I'm going to tell you what I think about Gourmand Leather versus Ultramale off the paper strip. Don't kill me, guys, but off the paper strip, I would choose Zara Gourmand Leather over Ultramale. And why is that? Well, they're a little bit different. I told you Ultramale has something of a pear note that brings the sweetness. This one does a very similar thing, but not with pear. This one has iris. Iris or orris root. I just like this one better. And I've had this one for a while. The performance is fantastic. This Gourmand Leather, Zara does have a lot of duds, and it just has a bad reputation as a cheap fragrance brand that makes cheap clones, and that's mostly true, but some of them are home runs, and this Gourmand Leather, at least this bottle that I have, is stellar. So I really like this one as an Ultramale smell-alike. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to spend a day wearing each one of these, including the decant of Ultramale, and just give you my overall thoughts really quickly at the end of which one I like the best, and then I'll close out the video. Alright guys, I'm going to close out the video and give you my final thoughts on these Ultramale clones. Now, I originally made a video like a week after that one that you're watching right now, and I don't know what happened. I lost it. I might have deleted it in my phone. Sorry about that, but I'm recording a new one right now, and it's been a few months after the fact, because I made this original video just before my USA vacation, which was a few months ago. But I remember my thoughts on these fragrances. I'm going to tell you now what I think about them. The Lattafa Ramz Silver, I gave that to my buddy. My buddy wanted that and I did a trade with him a few weeks ago. So I don't have that right here, but that one would probably rank number 3 in this competition. I would say the Lattafa Ramz Silver would be number 3. Afnan 9pm, number 2, and the best one for me is this Zara Gourmand leather, and I'll tell you why right now. The Lattafa Ramz Silver, yes, it does smell like Ultramale. It's pretty good, but it's just not better than any of these. It doesn't have the quality of these. It does have the sweetness, and it does smell like Ultramale, but the performance really isn't as great. The performance is just average for me. I just got like 4 hours or maybe 5 hours. If you look at the reviews on Fragrantica, there are people that swear that it's exactly like Ultramale. I just don't think so, especially when you compare them hand to hand. I resprayed the Ultramale on this tester strip, so I'm smelling it now. On this hand, I have Afnan 9pm, and I have Gourmand leather on this hand just to remind me and just to bring the thoughts back to what I found with these ones when I was wearing them around for a week. Afnan 9pm, when I first smelled this in the video, I didn't think it smelled that much like Ultramale. And there is a difference. There's a sweetness missing from it. So Ultramale is really sweet. The pear note really makes this one very sweet. And this one, although it smells similar, it's just not as sweet as original Ultramale to my nose. But I would say it's like 90% similar. It's like 90% there if I was going to put a number on it. So the scent is great. The quality, it feels really good. The bottle is heavy, the cap. This is actually a fantastic dupe of Ultramale. For the price, if you can get this for $30, $35, anything under $40, this is really fantastic. It's very accessible. This might be the best accessible Ultramale smell-alike out there. And I know there are a lot of other clones that I haven't tested. I haven't tested them. I can't tell you about them. But for me, this is the best one, and it's just by a hair, just by a little bit. This one, the performance is fantastic. This one is like at least 6 to 8 hours, just like this. This one's about 6 to 8 hours, and this one is just the same, just like a good bottle of Ultramale, which also has great performance. This one is just as sweet as original Ultramale. I told you how sweet this one is. This Gourmand leather has a different kind of sweetness. It's not pear, it's orris or iris. But it smells just like Ultramale, and it's just as sweet, whereas 9pm is not quite as sweet. I told you I don't really go for this type of fragrance. This type of fragrance is not going to be my daily driver. I appreciate it, and I like this. It's definitely for the younger crowd, especially if you're going out at night. This would be fantastic. If I had to sell one of these, I would obviously get rid of this one because it's readily available. Even though it's a hype beast now, this one came out like 4 years ago. I've been hearing about 9pm, I think, since before coronavirus. So definitely like from 2019, I was hearing about this one. And it wasn't until like a few years ago that this became kind of a mainstream thing that everyone seems to be talking about, and this one is selling very well. And as you saw in the video, there are a lot of fakes out there. Can you believe that people are faking Afnan or Armaf, Lattafa? Even the Middle Eastern fragrances, the clones are getting duped now. So make sure you're buying, you should always, whenever you're buying fragrances nowadays, always just think of whether it's genuine or whether it's fake. If you're buying off of Fragrance X or any of those discounters, you're likely getting a genuine one. But if you're buying on Amazon, even Walmart online, people in the comments complain that they're getting fake. So keep that in mind, guys. If I had to choose, I would keep this one just because it's so rare now. Let me know in the comments, can you buy this at your local Zara? Is this for sale online anywhere? Maybe it just pops up on eBay, but I'm sure on eBay these are already like 50, 60 bucks now. I would not sell this one unless somebody offered me like $100 for it. I would not sell it because this is hard to get. And to me, this is almost as valuable as the real Ultramale. Maybe this is like a step down because of course the real one is worth more than the clones, but I really like this one. That's why I say this is the best one for me as an Ultramale smell-alike or an Ultramale substitute. If this is 90% there, I'd say this is like 92 or 93% there. So that's it. That's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click that like button. Please give me a thumbs up. And please subscribe if you want to see more fragrance content on this channel. I usually do discontinued, vintage, rare and interesting fragrances, and this is a rare, and these are interesting fragrances. I think it's discontinued, unless Zara brings it back. Also, leave me a comment down below. What do you think of any of these fragrances you saw in the video? And I always appreciate you guys watching, so stay tuned for the next video in a couple days, and until then, take care.